top 5 most famous women in history. Number 5. Possibly one of the most controversial figures of the 20th century, few could deny that she was one of its most powerful political figures, doing much to make India the mighty nation that it is today. A paradoxically well-loved and greatly hated Prime Minister at the same time, Indira Gandhi ruled India on and off for almost 20 years until her death at the hands of Sikh extremists in 1984. Number 4. Few women in history have had the opportunity to rule an entire empire, but Alexandrina Victoria Hanover, the daughter of George III's son Prince Edward, did precisely that. Reigning for an astonishing 63 years, from 1837 to 1901, she oversaw an empire that stretched from India to the Americas and from Africa to the Far East. Her death in 1901 so traumatized the British that some of them aren't over it yet. In fact, her name became synonymous with an entire era of history which we today refer to as the Victorian Age. Number 3. What can you say about a 17-year-old girl who takes a disheartened army and rallies it to victory in the face of overwhelming odds? Her story is one of those rare events in history that not even the most imaginative novelist could have ever conjured up, but which actually happened. Joan of Arc, a young girl born to simple farmers in the tiny village of Domremy, managed to defeat a well-trained British army and make herself a member of the royal court in just 1 year, all the while dressed in white armor and surviving multiple injuries. Captured in May of 1430, her subsequent trial and death for heresy by burning at the stake was one of the most notorious show trials in history and served only to enhance her reputation as a martyr and heroine. Number 2. I doubt a few women throughout history are as well known or have been depicted in literature and by Hollywood more than Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt and lover to both Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. She couldn't be faulted for her intelligence and determination in being able to accomplish so much mischief within the highest level of the Roman government, and her charm in getting people to agree to the most extraordinary things, often at their own peril. While she didn't live long enough to see her 40th birthday, she did live long enough to oversee an empire stretching from the Atlantic Ocean to the Asian subcontinent. Number 1. Perhaps the most famous woman of the 20th century is a small, frail-looking nun by the name of Mother Teresa. It was soon after the end of the Second World War when she felt a calling from God to work with the poorest of India's 500,000 citizens. Establishing the Missionaries of Charity in 1950 with just 13 members, eventually it would grow to a staff of 4,000 nuns who would run dozens of orphanages, 8 hospices and charity centers worldwide. Her establishment of a hospice for dying destitutes in 1979 eventually won her a Nobel Peace Prize and made her not only a household name, but made the name Mother Teresa synonymous with compassion and charity. She died in 1997, but her work continues to light the world to this day.